My first deal was $14,000. But most of these guys have no idea, and I put in a lot of work on my own. Now they get the blueprint handed to them on YouTube from a bunch of different places. So to walk away with $15,000 and $13,000, you know, those guys, nobody hand walked me through my deals.
He's not a buyer or a seller. He don't get a HUD. Okay. Damn, Francis, how many times we did this? It's Monday. Get in. Take a sip, man. He don't get a HUD. That's transactions happen right here. He get a check. He don't get a HUD. Just because you're a pest control guy don't mean you get a HUD to the daggone to the closing, right? Pest control guy's on there. Here's an up and up, right? We went to the house, it's more damage than we thought, right? It's more severe damage than we thought. So in order for us to make this work, you need to come down about $3 grand, right? But we're still gonna close on time, but there's a lot more extra work. Now it's about $7 grand extra worth of work than we thought, but I just want you to 3. That's simple. I'll tell them if you don't want to. Is that untruthful?
No.
Exactly. Show them the picture, say, look, we gotta replace all of this. All of this. It's not like it was saying there's a sag in the floor. No, the floor is eaten from water. That floor is gone from water. Am I correct on the pictures? Those black marks were water, right?
I mean, thank God it's water.
Yeah, but it's
because if it was termites,
that'd be ruined. Yeah, you'd be pissed. Yeah. But you get what I'm saying though?
So you want to buy it?
I can. Here's the thing, Francis. If putting on an MLS gives me an extra, you remember you have to weigh out what it's going to cost me to sell it on the MLS, right?
The problem with that is, if to put in the MLS, we'll have to fix the floor, and that's going to take.
I don't believe. So is that an opinion, or it says that's what the regs say?
No, you can go down in the hall with that, the way the floor is.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, I understand that. I understand. I'm asking you a question. So you're saying I can't list any house as is and give a warning that the floor in the kitchen is. But I'm just asking. I'm not asking about opinion. I'm asking, does it?
Well, I'm not an attorney.
No, that's not what I'm asking. Does the rules say?
No.
So that's what I'm saying, because
the house is full of furniture.
But here's the thing. We're not going after your regular Tom and Harry buyer. For the MLS, there's clear warning signs that says floor is unstable in the property, enter at your own risk or something, or have the MLS sign another waiver for the risk of liability or something like that. The point is that we can't, when I'm trying to make a financial decision, right, based upon what is the best outcome for the company. Right? What can yield us the best amount? I need to know, is it allowed or not allowed? Then if it is allowed, then let's talk about the risk involved doing this option. Because
I'm just giving you my opinion. It's up to you.
I know. I'm telling you my decision making process.
Sure. If you want to list it, I don't have no problem.
I'm not even saying I do want to list this property at all.
I have no problem.
I don't want to have any influence on it.
That is so funny. No. I mean, the numbers are the numbers. You guys want to continue?
Yeah. Who's here? So I just want to do a quick update. I know it's Monday. It's a lady, she probably wants to call this morning. It's in the same area and all that stuff. But we went live on Google Ads last night, and first lead popped up in like 30 minutes. So hopefully that's a good sign. Be in it or no? Or is she in it now, or is she gone?
Oh, she moved. The owner?
Yeah.
Yeah, she moved.
But here's my thought on that process. It's kind of like in the front end on me trying to filter out a lead list. At some point when you start to add too many filters to it, you start to add your own opinion to the list, and you don't know, because for example, let's just hypothetically, we could have sent it out to the entire list. If you're not interested, you're not interested. If you're interested, or somebody who we thought wouldn't be interested may have just started flipping in Greensboro, or whatever the situation is. So it's best to just send it out and let's see what happens, because every deal, and let me explain why it's important, especially with the way we're buying now. See, when you're doing assignments, you get taxed as regular income. When you do a buy and a sell, and you sell it within less than a year, you get taxed for short-term capital gains, which is more than just regular income. So not only does the profit needs to be better, and if you're buying it, the profit needs to be better, but you're gonna pay more to Uncle Sam for the deal. It's just at the end of the year, you're gonna pay around 30%. He don't care if you flipped it or not, in the sense that he says you still flip it, because he treats dealers different than if you just took an assignment. So there's a tax liability for buying these properties. But if we're gonna buy them,
that's what I was thinking, if we could assign it.
It looks like we're gonna have to, but here's where I say, we still need to get my mans to come down on his thing. If you're not comfortable doing it, I'll call him to do it, because he'll listen to me without even a shadow of a doubt. Hey, look, we went to the house. Here are the pictures. We've called in the crawl space. It has a lot of water damage to where I'm gonna have to take up most of the section in the kitchen, completely redo the flooring from the studs. So this is gonna cost more money than we thought. Hey, just come down, $2,500, $3,000, we'll be good. We'll still close. I just said the same exact thing you said with just explaining that, because am I lying that we could get more money for this house if it didn't have this crazy amount of damage in the kitchen floor? Like, you're so concerned that it's just gonna fall through.
That's not the question, but I mean, yeah, I know you can say that. I mean, that's obvious.
But is that not truthful as well?
I'm just saying the money part. Do you tell him? So you're not gonna make. You don't tell him, okay, I'm gonna make this much, and I want to make this much. You don't want to disclose that. Right?
He knows I want to make more, because I'm telling him to take less. Because the floor in the property, in the kitchen, is in real bad shape. And if it wasn't in that bad shape, I could probably sell it for 70 or more, or I would probably take the flip on myself. Because what's deterring me from buying it and flipping it is you saying how bad it is, and we've replaced floors before, like entire joists, so now I'm thinking it's real bad. I don't feel bad telling Wholesale that. I mean, we guided him through the process to even go get the deal back in the first place, right? I could have been just like anybody else. And the moment he told us he lost a deal, I could have went and called that lady and offered her 50.
No, that would have been unethical right there. That's what.
If he said he lost the deal, that wouldn't have been unethical.
Yeah, no.
I just say we don't get hung up. It's just business. Yeah. Like, I swear, I just don't really make decisions off emotions.
Yeah.
We spent $230,000 last week. Over the last 2 weeks, $230,000. So we got to make sure that when those $230,000 go out, they bring back enough to make sure everybody's paid. Makes sense? Or it's not worth putting the $230,000 out. So we just try to squeeze every dollar we can. It's no different than the other. We got to think with, I don't know what we got to think with. We got to turn some side of our brain on that's not on right now, which is we're out to make the most amount of money on every single deal, as long as it's ethical. That's what matters. Or we won't do business. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
I agree with that.
Because at the end of the day, Uncle Sam is like 3 employees that's in on every deal. My man get paid. So squeeze everything out of it. Somebody got to pay for these office chairs. Even the ones that are not put together well. Aren't you the agent on there?
Yeah. but it's supposed to be closing on the 2nd. Because it's, money that you weren't expecting to.
I've been saying this for years.
Yeah.
I think the stat is 95% of houses that are in probate sell within 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years of probate. Now, whether that's MLS or cash or whatever, it don't matter. They just.
So just got a deal in Greensboro. Guess how he got it?
Oh.
There's a list in Greensboro for people that complain about yards.
It's called where's this?
What? Well, I heard you would talk about the water list.
No, it's a code enforcement list.
Okay.
Whenever you get code, we have a code violation list.
Okay. So this was he called from that list, and there was 2 heirs that lived an hour away, and he negotiated a house that he's buying and he's gonna flip. He has like a partner, and it was a probate too. But they had it empty for like 3 or 4 years. So even some probates that go back a little.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
2 years, 95% on the sale. What's going on, sir?
What's up?
These boys ain't come to work today?
They hold on. They getting seed and straw. They getting the seed and straw, and they gonna come out here and seed this. And he told me to call the inspector. I said I ain't gonna call the inspector till you get on the job site.
He already told us what to do.
Yeah, I said nah, man. I said come on out to the job site, then we gonna
Keep working.
Get that, then we'll call the inspector.
I'm closing on this week too.
Right.
But I say before you start, we put in silt fence.
Exactly.
You go ahead and put your perimeters line. And then he says when you dig your dirt, he said you take out so many inches, you put that on the top. That creates the berm.
That creates the berm.
And you take it out and it goes right.
7 to 14 days, you have to have it stabilized. So you go ahead and seed and straw.
And that machine just sitting there costing me money.
Hey.
It's called a baffle. So the whole idea with this is they have a plan for this, but then it comes down to common sense. So what happens is if water comes in here, they want the water to flow through, but not the sediments. So the water should go through each one of these baffles, at least 3 before it gets to this. And this thing, once it's like a toilet bowl thing, once enough water gets in it, it lifts up and it drains out of this one, just the water and not the sediment. The idea of all of this is to keep the sediment here and keep the water draining properly.
Just for closing with them. Here's what it is. So this is the real number.
Yeah, usually the deals bring more. I mean, that's one of the
It's a
small
terrible
ones.
deal.
That's one of the small ones, yeah. That's
And that's the
because,
same thing I said to him. I said, remember, our median is 13,000. Our median is not 6,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just want to break it down.
I mean, there's ones that could be 20,000 or 30,000.
And the
Exactly.
reason why it's important to break down is because
Just so if you,
so everybody understands what the real numbers are. When it'd be like so they're not going home and saying, oh, you made 7,000 and you only gave me $400.
Right.
Like, nah, let me break it down. And then Uncle Sam still gonna knock on my door next year. And let me tell you something, there's a difference tax-wise from buying and selling versus doing an assignment. Assignment is taxed at regular income like 21%, right? And then flipping is taxed anywhere from 35 to 40%, right? It's almost double. And anytime you buy and sell under a year, you get short-term capital gains. taxes. So at the end of the year, I'll be paying a lot of money. So that's why we have to make the advantageous move when we decide, do we list it and get the most amount of money, or do we assign it? That makes sense. And the goal should be like, an assignment is good, but buying it, we should be able to put it on the MLS or do whatever and get the most amount of money out of it. But there's also a lot of fees that come with the MLS. How most people do it is they have a flat fee listing and they don't pay out a bunch of commissions to the real estate agents. Just went over that. I'll do it real quick. If you look at the HUD, so numbers were off a little bit, and that's my mistake because I didn't tell them to go look at it. Essentially, on the purchase price, we end up paying $25,396, which is on line 303 on the purchase price. And then when we go to resell, we sold it for $32, but what happens is you get a $1,000 deposit that we didn't include back into the purchase price. So we were running off $30,527 and not $31,000. So the profit was, the gross was right here, $6,131 minus the acquisition fee of the property. And how you get that is it goes by the last 3 months marketing dollars divided by the amount of deals we got. And that's how you get an average, rolling average of how much it costs to acquire a deal. $1,500 minus $1,500 from the $6,000 gives you $46, 10% of that. Everybody get it? So out of that, it'll get split between acquisition and disposition. So the numbers was wrong that we told you yesterday. So, and I always want to be open with the success or not success of the team, because it's easy, guys, to see as transparent as possible. I want everybody to see it, so you can see it.
It's not a lot of money staying in the company.
No, it's not. That doesn't even cover rent for the month. What's rent?
7,200.
7,200.
The apartment that's there.
Jesus.
So it's okay though. Listen, we're gonna figure this out. On the acquisition side, stuff is picking up, so we'll be fine. But I just want to show the reason why I be pushing for those extra $1,000 here, $1,000 here. It all makes sense. There's a reason why I had to call, what's his name, and say you gotta give some leeway, because I gotta be able to make more money to be able to keep this thing afloat. And then what happens is, a lot of these guys, my first deal was $14,000, but most of these guys have no idea, and I put in a lot of work on my own. Now they get the blueprint handed to them on YouTube from a bunch of different places. So for to walk away with $15,000 and $13,000, those guys, nobody hand walked me through my deals. So that's why I be stressing both sides, because you gotta remember that $13,000 is the most amount of money he's ever made, probably the biggest check they've ever gotten in their life. So, and I'm not saying if the numbers work for us, numbers work for us, but when they don't be afraid to go back and ask for a reduction, because he's thinking, do I get 15,000 or will I be happy walking away with 13? They both still the biggest checks I ever got in my life, and to be frank, the house was in worse condition than we thought, right? And that it was portrayed. So when I see me squeezing pennies and being rebellious over $500, you know why? Me and them going fishing this weekend. You think it's advantageous for us to go take pictures?
Well, I'll go over the pictures with Dave and you and see what you guys think. And, if you think we should take pictures, other pictures, but it's fine with me.
I already know your picture.
Could be, I mean, yeah, not gonna compare it to, not gonna,
We'll have a challenge. We both use your iPhone and see who has the better pictures.
okay, I'm not gonna take that challenge because you know.
You're a realtor.
Yeah, but I'm not a photographer and a videographer and, you know. You wanna see the picture quickly? Yeah, that's an ugly picture. But
Yeah, Dave, let's go up and take photos.
that was that quick?
Francis, how do I get in?
There's a lockbox in there.
I can just walk into the building, they don't stop nobody?
Yeah. You're the owner, right?
Yeah, I know, but I've never
No,
been.
you really can just walk in there, go in the elevator. I mean, this one looks better, right? This one looks better. I mean, that kind of,
Okay, Francis. I'm done.
you know, the place looks good. The common areas are really nice. There's a pool, there's a gym, there's a library. Not a bad deal.
So I think what we do, Francis, is we're gonna go get pictures and
Yeah.
you cool with that?
Yeah.
Is it okay with you, sir? Francis be thinking sometimes.
What is that?
I don't know what Francis be thinking sometimes.
It's empty. So when it's empty like that, it looks like that, man. When you have...
No, I just say, like, you know how when the people paint and it's like paint on layers on top of layers, it's like caked on. That's what this looks like. And then you got a lot of the details are just f***ed up. You know what I mean? But
I think you're being too hard. I mean, you know, if you want it, it might not, it's not a bad idea to paint it.
yeah, but I don't.
But we can just put it in the market and see what happens.
Yeah, here's what I think. I think that we're gonna have a hard time selling it at that price. I hope not, but I think we are. I think you gotta come in here and get this one gone, but you know. Is that a bird?
Yeah, I'm over here and waiting for the lady.